And a very good afternoon, everybody. Welcome into another edition, another edition of the Hockey Night on Board Flyers pregame show, day edition, I guess. Today, the Philadelphia Flyers take on the Ottawa Senators as they meet up for the third and final time this season, and this time it's at Canadians Tire Center in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Excuse me. A pleasure. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm your host, James Scorza, with you for the next 15 minutes or so. After a very good win yesterday by the Orange and Black as they close out their season series with the Islanders yesterday, and it took a shootout to get so. The good thing about it was that the Flyers played to the competition like they did the last previous games, and it showed once again here. It showed once again for the Flyers in this game here today. So, I mean, this is going to be something to keep a close eye on as we get closer and closer to puck drop here. So let's get into. Excuse me, I'm sorry, my voice is like a little bit froggy today. I don't even know why. I guess it's probably the humidity or something like that. But anywho, let's get into our recap of the previous game like we always do. For the Flyers yesterday, this was a game that, like I said, it was a game that basically eliminated the New York Islanders out of playoff contention yesterday. The real storyline in this game was just a stellar performance by a great goal, by great defense and great forechecking and great play. I thought they played very well I thought they played well yesterday. I thought they played I would say play up to competition, but the difference is, they're trying to do whatever they can to get back into it, like what they're feeling like, what they're going to look like in the future, and see what they'll look like later on and probably what they'll see like probably next year. And the good news about the future in the making, if you did not see last night, in the Frozen Four, it was one of the Flyers' future stars coming actually winning a national championship for Central Michigan. Adam Bump, I think it was Alex Bump or Adam Bump. I think what the circumstances was about that. So he wins a national title for Central Michigan up in St. Louis last night. So I'm gonna guess he will be on the club, not this week or not probably any time. I would expect him to be back. Will be in the NHL probably within the next year or so. So it was good to see him win a national title last night. So congrats to Central Michigan on that part. But as for the Flyers and Islanders, the big storyline in this game yesterday was just like all season long. You thought about it. Like there was players getting hot, and there was players getting hot, and there was a lot of other players that were trying to it was like so many players today. Not so many players today, but so many players this season, rather. Like, they started to go on hot streaks. It was Travis Konechny on a hot streak. It was Tyson Forster, who's on a hot streak right now. There was a couple players here and there that were just playing to competition. I thought they played very well yesterday. Like I said, I thought it was a very good game. Obviously, the Islanders scored a goal late to tie the game up at 3. Forster got majority of the 2 goals that they scored. So, like, Forster's been, like JJ said yesterday, Jim Jackson alluded to yesterday, he said, do not touch Tyson Forster because you will get burned. And that's the most important thing about it, too, because he's been on a heater. He's been playing very well for the club. And the most important thing about this game, too, is that it looked like it was another good game for the Flyers yesterday. I thought they played very well. And and I thought they played to what the competition tells you what they will do. So that's the most important thing. And I think that's going to be the big storyline as we get closer and closer to the end of the season and see what they'll look like at the end of the season. So something to keep a close eye on. I thought for sure that they would play really good to the competition like they did, but somehow in some way, it's a shame that the season has to end in exactly a few days from now. So they got 2 more after today. They got the Senators today. They got the Blue Jackets on Tuesday, and they close out the season against the Sabres on Thursday night. So it's a shame that the Flyers have to end because but someone will be like, I'm glad the season's over, so it's a time to regroup and recharge. But the last Saturday off the book, the last Saturday in the NHL books was a very good one for the Flyers, and I guess that was the most important thing because they played up to competition, and they have played up to competition. And also good to see a couple of New York teams in the process, like the Flyers did on Wednesday night against the Rangers, and yesterday afternoon against the Islanders, eliminating them from playoff contention. So it's kind of, I guess it's kind of cool to see not any New York teams be in postseason, but the difference is, I think if they bring back the same group of players that they have, it'll be something to keep a close eye on as we get closer and closer to the next season, and what training camp has in store, and also what the preseason has in store too. So it'll be interesting. That will be for sure. That'll be the most interesting to see what they'll look like, and I'll be anxious to see what they'll look like next season in the process too. All right, let's get into our key matchups of this game here today. So the Flyers coming into this game winning. I think they won four out of 5 now coming into this game here today. I thought they would have won more, but I think the only loss came was a couple weeks ago against not the Senators, Montreal, but Montreal's still trying to make a postseason push. I don't know what happened with them last night. I don't know what the majority of the scores were, but this is a game that I think that if you look at the Senators right now, and they're probably looking to try to see what they have in store for the future as well. I'm not sure if they're in the postseason. I don't know if they're trying to fight for a postseason push with Montreal. I would be sure if they are. I think they're like very close. So I think the other thing too is that for the Senators too is that even though they lost Brady Tkachuk, I keep on getting him confused with Matthew. I forget which Tkachuk got hurt. I don't know if it's Brady or Matthew, but they were a big storyline in that. Brady was a big storyline in that Four Nations face-off. So it'll be something to keep a close eye on here. But the other guy I got to keep a close eye on too is Dylan Cozens, who, by the way, ever since getting traded to the Senators, actually looks like he's been playing better as of lately. It's a shame that the Flyers never picked him up and see what they have in store with him too. But I would love to see Dylan Cozens come to the Flyers and try to do something out of it. But the thing I took out of Ottawa is that the last time when the Flyers took on the Senators, this was around, so we're talking almost a month ago, and it was a pretty ugly game for the Flyers. And the majority of them, the season series. I mean, the Flyers. I don't know if it's just the series is tied or so. Yeah, the series is tied up at 1-1 apiece and all that. So it will be definitely to keep a close eye on to see what they have in store against other teams in particular. But the last time the Flyers took on the Senators, it was not a good matchup. It was not a very, very good matchup for the Flyers. I thought it was a bad outing by them, and it was the first time I actually had a guest on this program here on that, just talking about what the Flyers need to do. The other thing, too, is that I keep a close eye on, too, is just to see what they'll look like against the Senators. I mean, like I said, the Senators are still trying to I guess they're trying to make a postseason push. I'm not entirely sure where they stand at in the standings in the Atlantic, and I think it'll be something to keep a close eye on as we get closer and closer to puck drop here. But the other thing too is that, like I said, with Tyson Foerster, who's been playing really good as of lately, and he's continuing to show what he is made of, and I think that's the most important thing, that the Flyers are just seeing what the key components that they have coming into the next season. It'll be interesting to see what they'll look like, and also it'll be very interesting what they'll look like as we get closer and closer to the next season. And also hopefully it'll be a better outing for the Flyers to make a postseason push. And it's a long time since the Flyers actually played a postseason game here in South Philadelphia. So, I mean, hopefully next year they'll find what their footing is and see what they have it made of. And maybe I'll probably change this background with it's like a sea of orange and see a lot of orange T-shirts at Wells Fargo Center, or maybe depending on what their new arena will be called. I mean, they're not moving or anything. They're just changing their name and rights. I don't know if Wells Fargo will be it'll be a couple games that I have to catch myself and say, because I think the lease for Wells Fargo Center ends this year, so it'll be a new arena name next season. But I'll definitely let you guys know about that as we and maybe I'll do a recap of the Flyers season, probably maybe within the next few weeks or so, depending on how busy I am and all that too. So it'll be something to keep a close eye on too. All right, let's get into our who's trending up and who's trending down topic. I wouldn't say there's not a lot to be trending down in this game here today, but there's a lot to be trending up in a positive direction for the Orange and Black. Like I alluded to, Tyson Foerster, who's been very good as of lately for the guys in Orange and Black, he's been playing very, very well. Really, the one thing I was really happy to see yesterday with Tyson Foerster is that he's been playing so good as of lately. I thought he played well to the competition that he played against the Rangers on Wednesday night against the Rangers at MSG and had himself a hat trick. And he continued to score 2 goals that were 2 crucial goals in the game yesterday. Unfortunately, Sam Ersson being Sam Ersson, it was not some. I mean, the Flyers had to lead into the third period, but they gave up a goal late, and Foerster could have gotten another hat trick out of it. But the difference was, I guess, the shot was either high and wide or a shot was missed, and then the other way, the Islanders scored to tie the score up at 3. But the good news is they took 2 points out of it. They got the shootout win, so that's all that matters too, and that's the most important thing too. So, let's see. Nick checks in. It says, "It's good to see you, Nick. How you doing, buddy?" He says, "How was Tyson Foerster the other night?" I think he scored 2 goals. I think he scored 2 goals in that game. He scored 3 goals against the Rangers on like I said, yeah, it was on Wednesday night. So Foerster is on a heater right now, like I mentioned. That'll be good to see what he has in store too. So I'll be keeping a close eye on too. But I think Foerster, that's the one guy you got to keep a close eye on, and also an X factor in this game here today, because he's just been red hot as of lately. I would be damn sure he gets another few goals in this game here today. So it's good. It'll be interesting to see what he looks like in this game. So Foerster, like I said, has scored. Now let's see, he has 3 goals against the Rangers on Wednesday, 2 yesterday. So he has 5 goals in a matter of 2 games. It's pretty damn remarkable if you think about it. So hopefully, he's going to stay red hot. Like I said, that's the positive about trending up. But the trending down, it's not a bad trending down, but I guess it has to be better though for the Flyers too, especially if you have to do whatever you can to see what you have in store with this goaltender situation. I mean, it's not a bad problem to have, especially if you're trying to make a real positive outcome into the next season. So the trending down is, like, I want to say goaltender is trending down, but maybe sometimes here and there, like it gets like a buddy of mine would call it hot and cold. Like it gets like sometimes like he gets good, he plays really good to competition, and one game he starts to really crap the bed. And sometimes you don't want that to happen with your starting goaltender. Even though you have a 3-2 lead, you want to hold on to that 3-2 lead, especially with your like I said, like Tyson Foerster being like hot as he is. I mean, you want to give him a chance to get that third goal, and it would be crazy to think he gets like maybe 2 or 3 more goals in this game here today. I would say 2 goals for Foerster here today. So that's be something to keep a close eye on about who's trending up. I really do apologize for my throat being this way. I think it's probably like Tuesday. I'm at a lot of shows back to back, and also not a lot of tea and honey. So I guess that's the most important thing. Like if I have like a raspy throat today, so something to keep close on to. But the other thing I'll say about trending up before we go any further, I would love to see the Flyers I would like to see Travis Konecny get trending up a little bit, especially in these next couple games or so. Not just because he's been like he absolutely disappeared the last couple months or so, but it's something to keep a close eye on. So, but it'll be something to keep a close eye on. So for me, trending up, obviously, it will be definitely Tyson Foerster, and hopefully like a Travis Konecny. Bobby Brink got the shootout goal yesterday. I would like to see him trending up a little bit. And the other guys, like like I mentioned, maybe some other players that I haven't mentioned, maybe step up a little bit too and be trending up in a positive direction too, along the way in the process as well. All right, let's get into our injury report here before we get out of here and get our starting goaltender matchup here today. So the only one injury in this game here today, it's basically been the injury line, the storyline for Rasmus Ristolainen the last handful of games, and it continues to show why he has not been in the lineup. Still dealing with that upper body injury. The thing about it too is that the Flyers actually are playing okay without him. I thought they played very well as of good. They played good yesterday. I thought they played good the last couple games without him, but sometimes sometimes a blind squirrel finds an acorn. You have to find a way to see what they have in store with that defensive pairing. And it'll be a shame if Rasmus, as like I said, it'll be a shame if Rusto actually is not going to be coming back with the Flyers next year and he goes elsewhere. So it'll be something to keep a close eye on too, as free agency will be coming up right after the NHL season. So after the Flyers close out their season here this week, we won't see them again until maybe training camp and preseason. But hopefully it'll be something to keep a close eye on, especially what they'll look like the next handful of weeks too. So, I mean, it's all about what's going to happen at the end. It's going to happen on draft night to see what they'll look like too. But that's only the big storyline, is that Rasmus Ristolainen will be out again here today for this game against the Senators. That's something to keep a close eye on too. So there's not a lot of other big injuries that are as bad as this one. So it'll be something to keep a close eye on. As especially the off-season hits and also what they'll look like, especially at the beginning of the new season. So that's something to keep a close eye on too, as we get closer and closer to the end of the season, and also what they'll look like in the draft and all that in the process as well. All right, let's get into our starting goaltender matchup. So in goal today for the Flyers, it will be Ivan Fedotov in goal for the Flyers in this game here today. So we saw 3 goaltenders in a matter of 3 days. So we saw Kolosov at the Flyers on Wednesday night against the Rangers. We saw Urson yesterday, and it'll be Fedotov in goal for the Flyers today. For Fedotov's record, though, he'll be 6-13-3 this season, and has a goals against average of 3.11, and he'll be opposed by. They always say it's they say it's they usually say undecided, on the starting goaltender sheet. So I would guess it will be Linus Ullmark in goal today for the Senators. And his record has been very good as of lately as this season, and he's actually playing up to the competition after being let go by the Bruins at the end of the season. I can understand why. I could probably think the reason why the Bruins struggle a little bit this year is because they let go of Linus Ullmark, and after that, it came back and hurt him in a big, big way. But back to the Senators today, though, he is 24-14-3 this season, has a goals against average of 2.67. Fedotov for the Flyers and Ullmark for the Senators. I would love to see Ullmark come to the Flyers, though. It'll be something to keep a close eye on, but I guess he's locked up with the Senators, so he's not going anywhere. But in this day and age of hockey, you never know who's going to be going anywhere and everywhere. So, like I said, it'll be something to keep a close eye on, and I'll be curious to know what they'll look like. The Senators maybe in the postseason if they make the postseason, and also other teams about that included too. So, once again, the Flyers, like I mentioned, the Flyers are not in the postseason for I don't know how long it's been since the Flyers have made the postseason, so it's been a long time coming. But the future is bright though for the Orange and Black though. And my final predictions for this game here today. So maybe this is a game that the Flyers, especially on a back-to-back, they'll probably lose this game, especially depending on what the Senators look like and what they look like against the Senators. But right now, I think they played very well the last few games. I thought they played very well to competition, especially teams that are not in playoff contention anymore. So if they could play the same game that they always have the last few games, it'll be something to keep a close eye on. And especially, like I said, keep the main thing, to quote Jalen Hurts here, especially our Super Bowl champion Eagles is concerned. But maybe that's something to keep a close eye on, especially and also what you'll look like, especially. I mean, I think they want to win with Brad Shaw. I think they have a good cohesiveness with this team with with Shaw as the head coach. But it'll be something to keep a close eye on what they'll look like, especially what the coaching tree looks like. I don't know if they'll either keep Brad Shaw around or they'll just look to try to bring another outsider in here to see, or maybe somebody that's in the organization, what they'll look like. I mean, like LePerrier is one guy to keep a close eye on to see if he'll move up to upper management because he's the coach now for the Phantoms up in Lehigh Valley. It'll be something to keep a close eye on. So that's something to keep. That'll be like the one thing in the offseason. That's the most priority of the game is that the draft will be the top priority, and after that, who's going to be the coach for the Flyers for 2025 and 2026. But we got 3 more out here today. Actually, not 3 more. We got 2 more pregame shows here today, but then the season will be over. But anywho, that will wrap up this portion of the Hockey Night on Board Flyers pregame show. Thanks for everybody. I want to thank Nick for chiming in once again, man. I really do appreciate it. Enjoy the game, and also, I will be back again on Tuesday night when the Flyers take on the Blue Jackets. That will be a set for 7:00. So you'll see myself again at 6:30 for another edition of Hockey Night on Broad. That'll start at 6:30, 7:00 puck drop right here on Hardcore Sports Network. And now for everyone behind the scenes and for everyone that made it work here, now for myself here, and this has been the Hockey Night on Board Flyers pregame show. I'm your host, James Scorza, saying thanks for watching, everybody. Enjoy the game, and also we got 3 more, and we got a big busy day in South Philadelphia. We got the Flyers at 1:00. We got the Phillies at 2:00, and the Sixers are just the Sixers. I mean, that's probably the agony of defeat of the Sixers season comes to an end today. But thankfully, the Flyers got 2 more out of it, and then we got the Phillies the rest of the season. But there's a lot of things coming up in the process along the way as well. So I might have to do another promotion here in the next couple of days or so, because after this Hockey Night on Board Flyers pregame show ends on Thursday night, the next night I will be busy once again with my good friend and the boss man Mitch Kovsky talking Philadelphia Eagles. So that's going to be something coming up very, very soon. But I will definitely keep you guys posted with that, and also our Phillies baseball show coming up very, very soon along the way too. Wheels are in motion and everything about that busy too, but everything is like looking in a positive direction. So please stick with us over at Hardcore Sports Network and our sister station, Stream Punk Entertainment, for all that included. Like I said, thanks for everybody for watching here today. Like I mentioned, this has been Hockey Night on Board Flyers pregame show day edition. I'm your host, James Scorza, saying thanks for watching, everybody. And until then, we'll see you back here on Tuesday night, and we will see you next time. And enjoy the game, and also enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Until then, we'll see you guys on the other side.